Well, here we are, folks. Day 2 of the CC Summer Showdown Design Contest Course Critiques. Today we're going to kick it off with TPC Edgemere by Joe Golfer G. I always preface these by letting people know that A, I'm going to be playing with player clubs instead of tour clubs as I do these critiques, only because I believe that the majority of CC players are going to be playing with player clubs. So, no reason to use tour clubs for something that may or may not be realistic. So, it's going to be a little bit on the safe side. My scoring is not indicative of the actual judging for the contest, or is it indicative of whether I find it to be a CC appropriate course or not. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and do this. So yeah, just saying that don't pay attention to my score. I'm not trying to score well on these courses or anything else. I'm spending more time looking around at the course and all that. That doesn't mean that I won't have a couple of occasions where my swing pisses me off, but you know, that is what it is. Any comments that I make, if I point out something that I find to be a technical issue, then I will say it's a technical issue, and I think you'll find that the judges won't disagree with me on that particular thing. Just take it for what it is. Most other comments that I make are going to be opinions only. You know, as a designer, I see things and I just make comments as to things that I think can make the course either look better or play better. It's not meant to be offensive. It doesn't mean what a person did was wrong or anything. It's just a comment. So if for whatever reason you find it to be negative, just disagree with it and go on. Please don't get back on the forums and get in your thread and raise hell about it, or start sending me a bunch of PMs about how unfair and mean I am for doing course critiques. Other than that, I guess let's go ahead and jump on in it. Looks like we've got Stay Puffed, Cole Allen, and Pablo all joining. Welcome to the show, guys. Actually, Matt, I play better with tour clubs. I'm not gonna lie. I actually play better with tour clubs. Weird as that sounds. So he recommended green tees and pin set 4 in his thread. And this is one that he's got no comments about his course in the thread. So as you guys play it, man, go in there and like give him some feedback. Can be very discouraging as a designer when you put the time and effort in to get a course like this out, and then you get absolutely zero feedback from members of the community. So show the guy some love and give him a look. A couple other things to mention before we get into this. We are, what is it, Tuesday? So we are just over 48 hours until deadline. Still have a few courses that are going to be rolling in. A couple of those guys are over here watching right now, so time is starting to get a little bit short. And then beyond that, we are cranking up the TGCT After Dark Society. I'm going to be running it on PS4 and on PC, so anybody that's interested in having some fun with the guys from TGCT After Dark, we're going to have some cool things going on with it. So you can look for either one of those societies under TGCT After Dark. Whew, boy, that's a tight shot here from this pin set with a 14-mile-an-hour wind. You know, it's in a bad view off the tee right here. It's definitely a very realistic feeling course on this opening hole. Something he could have done on these bunkers right here. I like the sculpting behind it. I like how he's raised it, but the bunkers themselves are set a little bit too low. So raise the layer of the bunkers right there and give a little bit of canter on this side of the fairway. I mean, it's going to give you like a little bit of a slope, but it's going to show those off where you can actually see them. Right now, they're just completely invisible. Same thing with this bunker right here. Just raise it up just a little bit, lower your fairway a little bit here in the front, and that allows it to pop off. And you got like, you can see a little bit of a sliver of that bunker to to the right of the fairway right there, and that's good. You always want to, I mean, blind shots are fine. It's not bad to have them every now and then, but for the most part, you typically want to show off at least a little bit of a bunker so players know that it's there, especially those guys that are TST and play with aids off. So. Sorry, just going through my swing really quick. It's first round of the day and I haven't made a swing at all, so. Okay. And it's going to kind of be the same thing on these bunkers here. I mean, I like the placement of it. I like how he's got them embedded in, but they're just sunk too far low in the ground for what we have going. So raise the back side, the actual elevation of the back side of those bunkers up a little bit, just to at least show the top of it, so it'll be there. Neat concept, but needs a little bit of work on the finishing part of it right there. Yep, it's going to be a fast swing because I'm trying to get a perfect backswing. That always happens to me. But boy, that's it's a rough one there. I would definitely consider smoothing this hump in the green down. It's okay to have a tear, but that's a little bit too severe there. Damn nation. Wow, I'm still gonna back down it. Yeah, that's that's too much there, Joe. I applaud what you're going for right there, but that's not realistic in the least. A tier is good, but it needs to be a little bit smoother transition going down right there. That's a nice way to start it off right here. Son of a bitch. Did not hit that hard, and I may go back down that hill again. Yeah. Well, that's an auspicious start there, isn't it? Much better looking tee shot on this as far as the bunkers are concerned because you can actually see some of them now. So it's exactly what I was talking about. I'll probably still raise them up even a little bit more, but that's just a personal choice. And then we got the same issue going on up here on the right side of the green. So I'm not going to keep beating the point to death, but a little bit of fine tuning on those that go a long way. Man, I don't know if that wind's going to get me up there or not, but we'll see. Correct, Cole Allen. Once they're submitted, they're submitted. Well, as of the due date. Once I start playing them on streams, then that's it. That is your submitted course for all intents and purposes. Too much. Too much. Pin saved me. Didn't even look at the shot. That was not a chip. Thank God HB put that gaff into the game. It's like he's going very basic in parkland with the bunker style. Gonna be a tight hole right here. I got 369. I don't mind pinching the landing area on this one so much because somebody can club down and hit from back here. With it only being a 365-yard hole, you can do that. When you start getting over 420, 430 yards, you have to be careful about pinching the landing zone that much because then you start bringing super long shots into play, but it works okay on this one. Damn, 16-mile-an-hour wind. What's up, Titan? Well, hopefully the wind will go ahead and get up to 20 miles an hour. Lord knows I love playing this stuff in this kind of wind. Check up, ball. Shit. Well, that was a mistake by me right there. Yep, that's going to be a costly mistake. I knew there was a pretty bad putt waiting for me back there. Be careful with the yellow and red right here. It's starting to get pretty close into your pin here. Yeah. I didn't even give that a chance to go in. Sorry, guys. First one in the morning. I'm not completely into it as of yet, so. I earned that bogey right there. The one on that first hole, that was pretty severe. Yeah. I wouldn't judge my play on this at all, because to be honest, I really don't give a shit what I score on him. The hills right here, I like the idea of. Those are probably a little bit too steep. What they are, they need to be just a little bit more spread out. They're just too stark, is what I'm saying. They're too exaggerated. So make your brush bigger, pull it off the fairway just a little bit, and make it more of a natural look to it. But I like the idea of the hills here. And he's got some really good ideas going on with the course here. Yeah, I knew that was going fast. Knew that one was going fast. That was on me, not the game. That one was on me. So here we go again. I'm going to take birdie straight out of the equation here. That is a better tier right there, but kind of same thing, a little bit overblown on the tiers. If you're going to have a red slope right there, you need to make sure that your red and yellow combined are right at the 3 grid box mark. And that's 1, 2, 3, 3.5 grids of red alone, plus yellow on either side of it. So you're making unnecessary, unrealistic manufactured difficulty on that one. Man, God damn it, I got to pay attention to what I'm doing on these shots. This is getting stupid. I don't care what I score, but I'm not trying to look like an asshole either. I got some houses going in the background. Trying to tie it in. So it's definitely going for realistic. Damn. You either need to raise the green surface on this or stair stack your tee boxes with a little bit more difference in elevation, like lower them as you're going forward, because you've completely hidden everything in front right here. So that's something that usually does not get looked on favorably. This does not have mini golf, Dieter. It is not meant to be a mini golf kind of game. And there's people that make mini golf courses on here, but they don't really get played. This is a much better tier right here, a much better slope. I'm just not going to make a putt today. No, there's no mini games like that. This would be categorized as a golf sim. So HB Studios is trying to make this play as realistic as they possibly can. So no arcade-like stuff like mini golf and such. There's a nice neighborhood in behind it here. Same thing, man. Just so many misses on the bunkers. Of course, I got a fast downswing. Fucking of course. Because I'm not playing bad enough that I gotta have that shit happen. That was not a fast downswing by me. The first one was. That one wasn't. I actually clubbed down right there to illustrate that I can go all the way down to a short club there and still only have 126 feet or 126 yards into the green. So I don't mind pinching. We must be close to hole number 9. We've got to be getting close to hole number 9. This is when this crap starts happening. Hole 6. This is 3 holes early. killed it. Damn it. I probably should have like just waited till this afternoon to do this when I'm actually in the spirit of doing courses, because I am not doing myself or this course any favors at this moment. I mean, wind's not helping, but shit, this is not that hard. Not crazy about that bunker complex there on the left going down the fairway. It's too angular. That kind of breaks up the flow of the fairway. Well, I'll tell you what, this is just about shot, isn't it? Ignore me for the next few minutes. I'm just going to start hacking this damn thing around. I'm starting to get sick of this shit. Karma for something. I don't know what it is, but I know I'm not going to keep playing if this is as good as I can do. I may not be the best out there, but I don't suck this bad. No, I'm not exhausted, man. I just get frustrated with the swing sometimes. I should have gone in and played around before I started these up so I could go ahead and get the feel of it, but I don't like when I start off hitting perfect or slow perfect on everything, and then all of a sudden my swing just starts going fast for no apparent reason. See? Like right there. It's the same fucking swing. Okay, 213 yard par 3 coming up here. Yeah, bunkers are the thing that's driving me nuts on this as much. He's done some good things with them as far as the way he's laid them in and placement, and making them look, where they fit, but there's too many missed opportunities of showing them off. I mean, courses don't hide bunkers like this, and these are all hidden. And normally I'm dead on chipping, and for whatever reason I am not doing shit today, am I? Holy shit, I didn't make a bogey. Woo! Cheer. Have an odd shape to that green. Yep, nice work on the clubhouse there to give it a realistic feel. I don't know how close it's going to let me get into it, but it's got a good nice flow to it. Good God. Okay, I guess I'm going to start hitting everything slow after this because I refuse to keep on hitting shit fast. I don't mind the ridge too much. I think it could be smoothed out a little bit just to give it a better look, but it is what it is. Not crazy about the shape of the fairway on that. It's got like a weird flow to it, but other than that, neat concept for a hole. Yep, I'll try to post up in the shout box when I'm playing. I'm just kind of going in order of when they were submitted. Okay, take it easy, Chad. So my apologies to Joe Golfer G in the way that I've played up to this point. So once again, this has nothing to do with scoring. And it's no bearing on your course. Whatever reason, I just have not gotten into a flow here. Kind of a neat concept for a hole. The way part of it's put together is still kind of And he's been consistent with those angles. Just a little bit different kind of flow with it. Yep, there we go. Exact same swing I've been doing, but it decided to go fast that time. And then a little bit too much of a rise on that right hand side I'm looking at right there. That's a little bit of smoothing out with it. It looks realistic. Right now it kind of looks not realistic. What is that? 4 6-footers I've lipped thus far? At least 3. It's done a good job with the outside areas of the course, you know, building in the neighborhood and all that. There's definitely some time spent on that. You can tell it. What the fuck speed are these greens anyway? Holy shit. 172? Some of this stuff comes off a little bit too angular or almost geometric. Like this bunker down here has a tree in it closer to the green over here in the upper right corner right there. If that was rounded off, it just looked better. On the flyby, it just kind of catches your attention like its angles play a little bit different. Now, this landing area, I'm not as crazy about because I don't have a lot of realistic options. Playing 563. I mean, I can play short of this bunker right there, but that's still a pretty tight shot. What's up, golfer dude? That's a little bit extreme right there. And nothing technically wrong with it or anything else because he still gives you the option to play short, but God damn it. That should have been a slow swing, if anything. Fuck my life. I'll tell you what, at this point, I am just baffled with the fucking tempo. I am just fucking baffled with it. No, I was crazy about this pin because I honestly don't know how you keep this on the green right here. Exact same swing that time is perfect. Every other time it comes off fast, but let's see, this is what I'm talking about. Everything, that entire green is made to make this ball roll off. Of course, maybe he's anticipating somebody playing a shorter shot than I just played into it, but of course it won't go in. Yeah, that was a little bit of a funky green. This doesn't set up well at all, Joe. That is too severe for this length of shot. That is too severe and too close to the pin for this length of shot. You can do that at 135, 145 yards in that range or closer, but when you start getting into 194 yard shots, I mean, that's a brutal pin. That is one that I wouldn't recommend. Definitely for CC, but even for Webb, that's borderline not going to cut it. It didn't matter what I hit on that. That ball wasn't going to stay up there regardless. I had no shot at that green. So I just play through this hole, get it over with. And of course, it came out. Perfect swing, and it just flew, given it was a 75% shot. So whatever. See if we can go back down the hill. Yeah, that's. And we're back to the same massive slope on the green. This is kind of a theme that's getting worn out here. Well, I would normally agree with you on that, Royce, but I'll tell you what, you go play it, and then you tell me if that's the way it should play. It's not a good pin on that hole. I don't care how it's shaped up. It's just not a good pin at that length. That's a 194-yard shot where it's wedged in there with effectively 2.5 yards on either side of the pin to land the ball. The ball won't stay up there. And then if you go for the center of the green, you've got 40 feet or 40 yards plus or 40 feet plus back to that pin that it's, if you hit it even a little bit too hard, runs off the green on the other side, or it doesn't even make it up the hill. I mean, it's not TGC1. You can't control like that with the putting. So no, I don't think it's a good pin, especially with that kind of sloping right there. Having a little bit of a slope right there, absolutely fine. I don't have a problem. Having 4 blocks of red top to bottom, it's not a good pin. And if you think I'm being unkind about it, wait until the judges put their comments on it. Now, maybe how you intended, but it's just too much slope right there. I appreciate the tiered greens. You know, this is, I mean, I use tiers on my greens as well. I think we all do as designers. But this gets excessive. When you put a pin back there in that location, I mean, you do have to expect people are going to play from down here every once in a while. Um, Making that a smoother transition from that tier down here does not mean that they're going to have that easy of a putt. It just at least makes them to be able to get up on that shelf and have a chance at par. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I just have a different concept of certain things on design. It's good to protect par. I'm absolutely fine with that. But how you go about doing it, you can't just completely take the play out of the player's hands. And granted, part of my frustration is I'm just shooting like shit right now. I don't play these for score, so I don't care. But I'm not making putts. I'm not hitting shots, and for whatever reason, my swing goes from perfect to fast, left and right, like it's nobody's business. I have no clue what's going on with my tempo. It makes it very hard to do these when I can't get a consistent tempo. This is ranking out as the hardest hole on the course. I didn't even notice I got birdie on it, to be honest. I'm way past even looking at score at this point. So on this one, this is a distance where you have to be careful about where you're going to choke off your landing area. This is 438. So playing at 442 and uphill. So when you start taking driver out of somebody's hands, that's when you can start getting. This is almost the break-even zone. At 438, I can still live with it. Get a little bit beyond this, and I don't like taking driver out of somebody's hands. This is Joe Golfer G. I mean, it's a solid course. He's done a lot of good things with it. I don't want to make it sound like that, but see, here we are. That's driver into this kind of wind. I'm still 204 away. So imagine if I have to go 3-wood off the tee box right there because of the landing area. So it's he hasn't done it a lot on this course, so I can live with it from that standpoint. But you want to be careful on the on how it's playing. Oh, was it a 3-wood? Yeah, good chance of it. I didn't even look. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not into this right now. It has nothing to do with the course, but I mean, it's this shit right here. Wow. Wow. So all of our critiques have been pretty clean with play thus far until we get to this one. So he is going to be the beneficiary of the Griff is a fucking moron playthrough. Yeah, that's I mean that's my assessment thus far, Scampy. It's a very solid course. There's a lot to like about it. A little bit of finishing here and there, and I think that's just an experience thing in the designer. But beyond that, it's just a few of the angles here and there that are taken, and I don't even find those to be excessive. I mean, this just looks very. There's just some very odd angles on the fairways and stuff, but I don't even hold that against the course. I take that for what it is, and the designer having artistic license. So that in of itself isn't a problem with me. Some of the finishing on the greens with some of the sloping right there, it's excessive. I don't think you're going to find many people that are going to feel differently about that. The sloping, it's good to have tiers. I don't mind that, but it's got to be smoother. You've got to give players a chance, man. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not like Oakmont has the prettiest fairways in the world, so I'm not holding shapes and stuff. I mean, he's matched his brushes up. He doesn't have anything that I've really seen yet that feels out of place. I think there was one that I pointed out because it was very squared off, and that felt kind of weird. But wow, yeah, it's a solid course. He may feel like I'm being harsher than what I'm intending. I'm not trying to come off like an asshole. Like I said, part of this is my frustration in tempo right now, and not being able to actually play. But the all in all, pretty solid course. There's a few things, and God, I hit one perfect, playing off to the right, and I still can't manage to get in the goddamn fairway. Now, see, this contour I can live with. I mean, he's not going for the same type of shelf effect, but I mean, it still brings difficulty into the putt trying to go over that second ridge right there. But that's manageable. It's when you've got it stacked up, where that's 4 grid boxes of red. That's when it becomes tedious to me. That's a good example. I can at least have a shot at par on this from that distance. That par three that we were talking about, you hit to the middle of the green. That's the distance you're putting at. But instead of going up a foot, you're going up 2.5, 3 feet at least. And sometimes you can't hit the damn putter hard enough on this to get it up that um, kind of slope. I've played a couple of courses where it's done that. I've taken it all the way back and hit it as hard as I can and still not make it up some of those ridges. So I'm usually not a big fan of closing a course with a par three, but it's not unseen. It happens. Hmm. Not crazy about that ridge right in the middle. Had it been me, I probably would have had my left side on one tier and my right side on one tier. I mean, and let lower and come off that, but I don't think I'd make a decision to run a ridge right down the middle of my green. It's kind of a odd thing there. And this pin right here for designers is technically an illegal pin. For tour play, that is a no-no. You have to be at least 4 yards from the edge of any part of the green. So especially for CC. Now Rod and Dale may have different rules or overlook things for PGA and Euro, but for CC and Web, this is a big no-no right here. Always make that about 3.5 grid boxes from the edge of any part of the green. There's times I'll let one slide, but if there's too many of these over 4 pins, then I will pull it from rotation. What a putt this is going to be. Man, I just tapped that and it just shot. Griff is a non-putting fool today. So, anyway, on wrapping this one up, a lot of my frustration on this doesn't have anything to do with Joe Golfer G or this course. Part of it was just not being able to get the damn tempo in, and when I just couldn't actually play the course the way it was meant to be played. That being said, solid course. It has a few things here and there that feel like it's a newer designer. I don't know how much experience Joe actually has as a designer, but there are a few things here and there that just feel like they're not having time as a designer type things. I also pointed out the bunkers. As far as the way they were put in, they're put in clean. He's got a very clean golf course here. Make no mistake about that. This is very clean and very nice looking. But he did miss some opportunities on the bunkers just by raising them a little bit to kind of show them off. Too many of them get lost in the horizon just because of the way it's sculpted. And you can have them here and there, but you don't play many golf courses where all your bunkers are hidden like that. So part of that is just from the viewpoint off the tee box and off your approaches. Try to elevate the bunkers a little bit on the back edge just to show them off and at least let the player know that they're there. And you'll be surprised at how much it actually helps the look of your course as well. Sorry, I was trying to read a couple of comments. Some of the greens are just overcooked with the shelving that you've done on there, the multi-tiers. They just need to be a little bit softer edge, man. Go through and look at like some of the greens from other designers and notes, and when they do tiered greens like that, you'll notice that they get the elevation, but there's a smoother transition from one tier to another instead of just this one big block of red that's there. It's just so limiting with how the hole's going to play. I think you'll find if you'll make some of those changes that people are going to be a lot more responsive to what you're going for on your shots. But once again, not trying to be overly critical of the course. These are what these are for, you know. I try to point out the good, but if there's something that we see that's not necessarily copacetic, then, you know, we have to point that out as well. It's the nature of a contest. And believe me, these courses are going to get harder behind the scenes more than what I'm doing on the streams. I tend to be very generic on the streams. In the judges section, they get nitpicked to death, so just making people aware. But other than that, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Give me about 5 minutes. I'm going to go upload this one and then export it. Take the dog out, let her go pee really quick, and then I'll be back in to do another one.